Let me come to Ebo now, and same question, Ebo. I mean, what do you make of all we are learning in the last 24 hours or so about what exactly happened in the Ashanti region?
We just had the Naimos situation. What happened to the Naimos people? Then this time around, EP certainly, and in both situations, we were told that people were having guns, which means, more or less, Galamsey areas have become war zones, whether you like it or not. Once people are wielding guns and they are prepared to shoot, then more or less we are having a very serious situation on our hand. You see, I was asking myself a question when Prof was speaking. When she said, the EPA, we don't have guns. We had a few soldiers with guns, others were not having guns. I was asking myself, what kind of operation intelligence gathering went into this exercise? Because if you know you're going to go to areas like that, and we know that when it comes to Galamsey, people would want to resist, people would want to come out with guns and all that. Why is it that EPA had to go in isolation? Because I was thinking that EPA was working together with NIMOS. And therefore, when you are approaching such a situation, you should be well equipped because you should anticipate.
I mean, they had national security with them. They also had soldiers who were armed as well. But the soldiers were armed.
But from what she said, I mean, they were not enough to.
They were outnumbered, so they underestimated the.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That what kind of operation intelligence gathering went into this, because it is important that whenever you are approaching such things, you prepare. Because we don't have to joke with this situation now. I think it's getting out of hand. The fact that now they would want to attack, now they attacked military officers, they are attacking EPA, the next person, the next group of people they are going to attack, we don't know. And so I believe that from the way things are going, you see, personally, I have this solution. People cannot do Galamsey without excavators. Excavators cannot be hidden easily. So the first thing we need to do is to make sure we get into our forests, water bodies, get every excavator, whether it is said it is said, or they are saying it's going to be used for construction, whatever. Let's gather all excavators from these areas. That's the first, because there's no way they can mine or can do Galamsey without excavator. So let's target the excavators first. Now let's stop importation of excavators. Then let's also seize
mercury too.
Yes, and let's also seize excavators moving from Accra to the hinterlands. If you're able to get all the excavators out of the place, I mean, what are they going to do? They can't use cutlasses and hoes to do Galamsey. So we need to target those equipment first. And I believe the way things are going, you should be bold enough to suspend, if it becomes possible, I'm not a lawyer, so if we are to suspend a portion of the Constitution to be able to solve this problem, we need to do it. Because this is a serious issue. They are killing us slowly. They are poisoning us slowly. Now they are fighting us. They are confronting us physically. So what are we doing as a nation? I believe that if we really want to solve this problem, if it becomes possible, I said this here some time ago, if it becomes possible, we need to suspend portion of the Constitution to deal with this issue, declare a state of emergency, and deal with this issue. If those areas, because of elections, let me bring in this point. You see, these people, they know politicians are afraid of elections. And so when they are doing it, they know that that fear of losing an election is always at the back of the politician's mind, and therefore they would want to do this with impunity. If it becomes possible that certain constituencies, we declare those areas, we declare state of emergency in those areas to the point that there's not going to be any election in those areas, so that when we are confronting them, there's no fear of losing election. We confront them, we confront and solve the problem there. Until the problem is solved, there's no election there, so that they will not use the election to blackmail the politicians. I'm telling you what happened with the Naimos people. The MP there probably is afraid because the people who have been supporting him. But if he knows there's not going to be an election in this area, there's no way you mind them. So we need to begin to think outside the box. The kind of solutions we've used over the years, I mean, the result is what we have. So why don't you now do something different, something very drastic, something very brutal? Because people say we shouldn't shoot and kill, fine. But if we shouldn't shoot and kill, what must we do to solve this problem? Because the people don't seem to care. They know, they themselves, they know that what they are doing is wrong. But the issue of providing alternative livelihood and all those things, yes, we can do all those things. But before we do that, what must we do immediately to solve the problem? Because it will take time to put together some of these policies to be able to solve the problem. But in the immediate, what are we supposed to do as a people? I think I'm sad. You see, there's a picture that I had from something that Erasmus has said some time ago. Let me tell you, it has stayed with me ever since. He said, in those days, I mean, I don't want to, if I mention, but I can mention the year because he said it. He said between 2018 and 2019, one of the forests that was destroyed, the size of that forest is as big as Kumasi. And that's scary. And they destroyed it within a matter of 1 year. So if a forest as big as Kumasi could be destroyed within a matter of 1 year, can you imagine if you sit aloof, what will happen to this country? We're not talking about even poisoning the water bodies. The forest itself, which is our oxygen tank, if it is being destroyed at this faster rate, then what is the future for our children to come? So the point is, if it becomes necessary for us to suspend portion of our constitution, because this is war, this is a war situation, and therefore let's do what we would normally do if we are to confronted with a war situation as a nation. And so let's not romance these issues anymore. And the politicians should be bold enough. And I'm saying that if there's certain constituencies, we say here, this year, there's not going to be election in these constituencies, because we know the Galamsey constituencies. If you can say no election in this area, people will sit up. And the MPs or the politicians will not be afraid. Then we can confront the situation, solve the problem once and for all. Then we can move forward as a nation. I mean, this is too much. I'm so saddened this morning. I mean, giving the story. I mean, a journalist will go, all that he has is his camera, pen and maybe booklet to go and cover so that we will know what is happening. EPA will go because they are mandated to make sure that we are protected. Our environment is protected. They will go and do their work, normal, routine, enforcement mission. Then suddenly it has turned into something else. I mean, we should be very furious about this. And I'm saying, Mr. President, let's do something drastic about this. And if you are to suspend, and no political party, if it becomes necessary to suspend some part of the constitution and declare certain areas, that these areas we are not going to have any election to solve the problem, no political party should come and make noise in this country. Because this is not about political parties. This is about the future of this country and the future of our children. Enough is enough.
Interesting thoughts there.